You know, guys, it would be really cool if I could learn how to actually edit videos, or rather put the time into editing videos rather than just trying to do this in one shot. Because this is seriously the 7th time I've recorded this and I keep getting phone calls that are interrupting the recording. Hey, welcome back to Adventurecruiser. This is Matt, and this is the APX3000. I made an introductory video about the APX3000 a little bit ago, and I was really impressed. You guys had some really great insight and great questions. So let's talk a little bit about the comments, and then I'm gonna dive into the radio a little bit more. Some people were saying that while this could be a very useful radio for Secret Service, in the past, it is quite likely that the Secret Service really liked the Motorola Sabre. This is an Astro Sabre. There were many generations of the Sabre. This one's mine. Typically, a Sabre will come in one of 3 options. You'll have no display, no keypads. You'll have a display limited keypad, or a display full keypad. That's exactly how APX7000s, 8000s, 6000s, and 5000s are sold these days. Top display with or without front buttons and keypad. This is not a video about the Sabre though, but I do want to compare the size of the Sabre to the APX3000. Some people were saying that the Sabre was often carried in a pocket with a short battery, and while I don't own a short battery, I have seen them on on eBay, so I know they exist. The internet would never lie to me. The Sabre is a spectacular radio. I can absolutely see how it would be easily carried in even a coat pocket or in a belt holster tied up against the body so it doesn't print much, but that's a really cool radio. The bigger issue that I saw a couple of comments on was, how do you have communication secure from the ears, the mouth, to the radio? Well, that's a good question. And I think that many of us are familiar with this style of speaker mic. This is a traditional APX style connector, clips on, screws in. You have a clip for your collar, and then you have the traditional clear ear tube that's going to go up and over and into your ear. Then you would pass this microphone down your sleeve and clip it on your sleeve, or however you want. I've seen guys use rubber bands to keep them in place. Anyways, it has 2 buttons on it. This one has, near as I can decipher, an emergency button. I haven't found another way to program this to something more useful, but for now, it's an emergency button and a push to talk. So in the movies, you see guys talking into their hands. You can very easily push the button and speak into it. Now, when you're speaking into your hand, you are gonna look a little suspicious, I'm not gonna lie. I typically don't make a habit of speaking to my hands, though sometimes when I'm trying to address my kids, I feel like I'm speaking to nothing and nobody, but that's a me problem, and I'll work on that one on my own time. But this is the traditional undercover headset. But there is something that I think is a lot cooler than this. And this touches on the next topic. How do you keep Bluetooth secure? Well, one of you posted a comment saying, if there's a Bluetooth connection between the radio and the headset, that doesn't seem very secure. Couldn't that be hacked or decrypted? And that's a little out of my wheelhouse, but logic would say yes. So I did a quick Google search and came up with a couple of documents that Motorola put out explaining that there is an additional handshake that goes on between this and this. It's an encrypted transmission, and it is almost impossible for somebody to listen to the link between these two. I say almost impossible because I don't understand this enough to say with any certainty that that's 100% accurate. But once you get one of these mission critical Bluetooth dongles, now this one I'm not sure is mission critical. There are 2 versions. One is mission critical and one is just a Bluetooth dongle. I think the primary way to tell them apart is one will have a blue dot and this one does not. Oftentimes you'll take the blue dot on the radio, the blue dot on the mission critical earpiece, go boom, and you'll hear a pairing noise and you're good to go. But with the mission critical, I believe, is where you get the additional level of security. Now, this can be used with a number of different headsets. I've already made a video on what they are capable of, but let's assume that you are comfortable with the Bluetooth connection between these two. You take this, turn it on, drop it in your pocket, and now this becomes your volume control, your push to talk, and it wires directly into your earpiece. This one is a very fascinating earpiece. I think I've seen this in a couple different Motorola variants, but this is the microphone above your ear. You can get like a dead cat foamy that goes over it as well, but it actually works pretty well. The microphone is up over your ear. The audio comes out of here through the tube and into your ear canal with this flower petal keeper. This works okay, except if you're wearing a hat and sunglasses, then it's rubbing up against here and it drives everybody else nuts. But there are more options than just this. You can also get a TLLR, I think it's called TLLR, TRRL something. Anyways, an adapter that connects to any phone style earpiece. This happens to be an old iPhone headset and it works really well. The thing I don't like about it though is I typically try and keep an earpiece in my left ear and leave my right ear open. But with the iPhone specific one, it is mandatory to have it in my right ear because this is the microphone. I know, first world problems. But the point is, these buttons will not work. They don't do anything when it's connected to this setup, but you will look slightly less suspicious having an iPhone earpiece in rather than a clear coil. But there are even more options than this. But wait, there's more. Something that I have really been fascinated by ever since watching these in movies are having a bug in your ear. Now this uses a traditional, you gotta be kidding me. Oh no, that's fine. I thought that was broken. I was about to be very upset. This uses a traditional hearing aid battery, flips in. This is pretty close to one size fits all, and it slips down in your ear canal, and this becomes your audio. Now that is cool. It uses some very low powered transmitter to go straight to this. And from the outside, you know, you might see this little clear thing. It's the same as any other hearing aid, but you don't have any of these clear tubes or anything else running up to your ear. Now, this does require a bit of infrastructure though. The infrastructure it requires is this guy. Now, this is an antenna loop. Let's see if I can get it in frame. This is an antenna loop. Don't cross it over like this, but you would drape this around your neck, drop this down your stomach. This would connect to the Bluetooth dongle. And then this would be on the inside of your clothing somewhere, hopefully near your mouth to pick up audio. This could be in your pocket or it could be somewhere else. Now, I don't have a good example of this next feature, but they do have a car key looking fob that you can also pair to this that's standalone. So you're just walking around with a little dongle, or you put the dongle in your pocket, and when you push that, it transmits. To me, that is super cool. So there are plenty of options, and some of them are cooler than others. This one I have found to be really cool, but maybe more cool than useful. I have not tried this with digital communications, but I'll tell you with analog, it's kind of a pain. You can barely hear it. It is not something that I would really relish using. But I have used it and I've enjoyed it. And I think I've enjoyed the concept more than the function. But guys, this is how you could potentially have a completely covert communication system. And this is likely what is being used by other people all over the US. I hope this helps, guys. I'm still very fascinated by this radio. I think that discovering things like this just gets me excited. I will say that the programming for it is not the easiest I've discovered. In order to cycle through the zones and channels, you can have a primary and a secondary function button that then will have secondary features of these buttons specifically. I'm still playing with that. But in theory, you can have 1,000 channels on this radio. I would make sure that you have the audio enabled. What's the word I'm looking for? I would make sure that you have the voice announcement enabled on each channel. That's probably going to be the only way you're going to know what channel you're on, unless you have a display mic like this. That's all I got for you guys today. I hope this was informative. If you'd like to see more about covert communications, there are a few other things that I'm exploring right now, but for the most part, this is about as covert as it gets. Pretty cool, huh? All right, guys, that's it. Take care. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks for your time.